Hey y'all boys, we're back with another solo leveling rise video, and today we're going to be talking about a new weapon that got leaked not too long ago. I believe it was yesterday morning, but unfortunately I was busy day, so I couldn't really cover it until just now. But basically, it's going to be a hunter weapon, right? I mean, excuse me, not a hunter weapon, Sun Jin Woo's weapon. And yeah, I mean, as we can see, it looks like very frosty looking. It's a gun, of course, like it shoots, right? Surely. And we'll see if it's going to be long range or mid range. I know the other gun that we have is currently like a middle range kind of weapon. So I'm kind of hoping this one is more long range. Now, of course, having a long range would actually kind of be OP because I feel like it'd be firing very frequently and it would basically be like tone and the gun kind of fused. But yeah, let's just go into it and we'll talk about what it does and then from there we'll move on. So we have a pistol made with the vengeful spirit of Skadi, who was once called the god of hunting and winter. Each time a new wielder takes hold of it, they must satisfy the two conditions it gives them. When winter hunting is used, it activates the last hunt and applies Skadi's blessing effect for 7 seconds. When winter hunting hits, it applies the Skadi's curse effect to the target. So as long as you use it, you'll get the last hunt. Excuse me. When you use winter hunting, it will activate last hunt, and then it will apply the blessing. And then when you hit someone with it, then it applies the curse. What last hunt does is it deals damage equal to percent of the user's attack to the targets with Scotty's curse effect, and then it inflicts the freeze effect. So you'll freeze, and then if you hit them, basically you'll freeze them, right? Like you basically freeze them. That's all it's really saying. When the last hunt skill hits, it removes the Scotty's curse effect, so basically you'll remove it after, so they won't have the curse anymore. It increases the user's attack by percent. Okay. So it increases the user's attack by percent, right? It's kind of weird wording. Or maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Anyways, when last hunt is used, create Scotty's domain for doesn't say how long. We don't have the actual variable of how long it's going to be affected for. When an attack lands while in the domain, deals damage equal to a percentage of attack, and then it increases water elemental damage by a percentage when used within the domain. So basically, you hit the enemy, you'll freeze the enemy because you'll have the curse on them, and then you'll deal damage to them based on your attack percent, which will then also when you use last hunt, you'll also make a domain. And basically, when an attack lands in the domain, whether it doesn't really say whether you're in it or if the enemy is in it, but when in this domain, basically you'll be dealing extra damage, right? Like you'll deal damage in based off your attack percent. It also increases water damage by a percent, and then enhances Scotty's blessing. Increases attack by a percent, increases defense penetration by a percent, and then duration infinite stacks up to 1 time. So as long as you hit them with it, it will already be applied to them, and it's infinite duration. Right? You can't stack up anymore. Then you have enhances the last hunt skill, deals damage equal to a percent of the user's attack to target with Sky's curse effect, inflicts the freeze. When the last hunt skill hits, it removes the Sky's curse effect, interrupts the target. So I'm assuming a lot of these that are here is probably what you get when you get dupes. I'm assuming so because it decreases the cooldown of winter hunting by a percent. Right? So that's kind of like the demon sword. The demon sword also reduces the cooldown by a percentage as well when you get dupes, right? And then it also increases defense penetration, increases attack percent, enhances Scotty's blessing. So I'm assuming a lot of these down here on the bottom are going to be when you get dupes. But basically the last hunt and the Scotty's curse is basically going to be the main line of the actual effect. Now I don't know if the Scotty's domain is actually part of the kit or if it's when you get a dupe, right? But what I do know for sure is the last hunt and Scotty's curse are definitely going to be the applications of the actual skill, and that will be there when you have the weapon. So that's basically going to be the full breakdown of the weapon. I don't really know too like how I feel about it. I really need to see the gameplay, how far the reach is, how the skill activates, how long it lasts for. You really need the percentage and the durations for a lot of these to actually understand how good it is. But overall, if it has a good percentage and it has a decent cooldown, like I mean duration, then this is going to be actually nuts. I'd probably rank this very high on my tier list just simply because freeze is really nice. Having freeze and being able to increase damage and just, do more damage. It's just like this is just pure damage, but with freeze, right? And then just having the domain lets you do even more damage. It's definitely going to be very, very good, especially with dupes. But yeah, that's going to be the weapon. Now, we do have another thing talking about a special hunter subscription service that's going to be coming, I believe, around the release of the game. So, can only be bought on mobile currently, but takes effect on PC. So basically, if you buy on mobile and you use your account on PC, it will still be in effect there as well. The ability to purchase subscriptions on the PC version is coming soon, so please look forward to it, is what they say. And then what you get, question mark. Now, you get special summon tickets, one per month, which will allow you to select and obtain a desired summon result. This includes the SSRs. So that's going to be nice. I don't know how they're going to implement this. Maybe like you log in for a certain amount of times and then you get this special summon ticket. Like maybe you get the subscription service and then let's say it's February and then you log in for like 28 days and then you get your ticket on the 20th day. Something like that, maybe, That's what I'm assuming. I don't think they just give out like a special summon ticket so easily if it could give you an SSR character. And then obviously it's probably a selection, right? Because it says a desired summon result. So. Next up, you have another subscription service feature where it says unlock the auto mining feature, which will allow you to automatically mine the gates that you have cleared. Now, it kind of like how I see it is it does kind of suck for the free to play players who aren't spending to have this feature, because an auto mining feature is really nice for overall, like you don't have to check back on it, but it doesn't give you a competitive advantage whatsoever. And normally when you're spending money and stuff like that, you're either doing it for your entertainment or when you're trying to keep up in like meta or a competitive aspect, right? And I feel like this isn't a really big deal, locking this behind a pay to win thing, because like you can still do it. It does kind of suck that it is a quality of life feature that is locked behind paying, but this isn't the first time that a game has done this. Like 98% of gacha games literally do this. You might be like, well, why isn't this the 2%? Well, I mean, this is Netmarble, and the majority of their games are very heavy on monetization. So if you're familiar with Netmarble games, then you know what I'm talking about right now. If you're not, well, welcome to the club. They do a lot of monetization. Now, not a lot of them are always pay to win. Like I said, this isn't pay to win. This is just auto mining, right? This is just a quality of life. It does suck for free to play players, but I mean that's how it goes. They need to sell, so they have to make some sort of pay to win feature or release something, because it is a gacha game. They have to release something that will bring them in money, and realistically, I myself will be buying this because I am lazy and I do not want to click on all these mining stuff. That's just too much work for that. Next up, you have obtain subscription exclusive check-in gifts once per day. These gifts will get better according to your level. So the subs that we already have now do give you like a little chest and all that stuff, and that you can buy in the shop, which is really good. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be something like that as well. I can't really comment too much on this because it's according to your level, so we'll see kind of the value of it depending on your levels. So I'll probably have to look into it on people who are lower levels and then people who are like high levels and stuff like that. See what's cooking with this, if it's even really worth it, right? But I'm pretty sure the special hunter sub probably gives you all of this anyways. Next up, you have obtain rate up draw tickets, heroic blessing stones, and more as accumulated check-in rewards. So I'm assuming the special summon ticket is you're probably going to get this as a check-in reward as well. Now, I could probably be wrong, but anyways, on the way up there, you'll probably be getting check-in rewards from the subscription service, because like this is what it says, obtain check-ins once per days, and then you'll probably get like a gift, and then these are probably also going to be check-ins as well, and then the summon ticket is probably also going to be check-in. If it's not check-in, it's probably going to be some other pay-to-wins BS, but I mean, not pay to win, but pay to progress. I mean, I guess it's pay to win if you're doing like your ranking events. But yeah, I feel like majority of this is going to be like check-in stuff. Like you're just going to get this over passive income, of course, because it's a subscription service. Like that's usually how they are. The mining feature is a nice bonus for having the sub. We'll just have to see further on later on when they do actually release this. Maybe on the release of the game. If not, whenever they do decide to release it, we just have to see the pricing of it. Now, if it's a low price point where it's like $5 or something, like can you like really complain? Of course, some people value $5 a lot more than others, but I think it's very reasonable for it to just be $5. It's not like they put it out of your reach. It might be out of the reach for some people, depending on your financial stability, but or whether you like to spend in games or not. But I don't think this is really a big deal. Like, I mean, whales were always going to get above you, and the auto mining feature is a quality of life. You can just do it yourself, and if you don't want to do it, you can just spend money. Might be a hot take, but like, I mean, just like I don't think this is something really to complain about. It's it's literally auto mining. Yeah, it's quality of life restriction, but a lot of games do this, especially Netmarble games. There will be games where they'll be like, here, if you subscribe to this, we'll give you skip tickets. Well, that's also a quality of life because the skip tickets are making your life easier. So it's just, can you like really complain? So many games do this. This is how they monetize. This is how they market. This is how they sell. This is how they keep the game up and running. I'm not going to complain about the quality of life that the only effect it has on you is the fact that you have to spend more time. Like, what? I know I've been rambling on about this, but I've been on Twitter too long, reading so many comments about people complaining that this is too much of an issue, or this is scary or something. Like the original poster of this did say that this is scary or whatever, but like it's not really like it's a quality of life feature. And a lot of games monetize this, and you might say, "Oh, well, that's because you're used to the standard." Yeah, sure, that may be the case that I'm used to the standard of submitting to their greed or whatever you want to call it, but I don't think it's that greedy. It's very reasonable. Now the price point will be a very big factor on my opinion on it, but I think from a perspective of a market, because even though it's a game, it is a business at the end of the day. They are trying to make money. This isn't the end of the world. Like it's not like they're locking behind materials that you're not able to get unless you spend money, right? These are things that you can still get by just playing the game. You just can play the game and get them. Now, of course, other people are gonna get it at a more quicker pace, but that's what it means to pay to win. You're actually paying for progression, right? Like you're gonna get things faster than other people. If you're spending money, you don't. If you're not spending money, you won't really have to worry about this aside the mining feature, anyways, right? Because the mining feature is the only thing that's like gonna probably be bothering you is because they could have just made it free, right? So I can understand where free to play players are probably gonna be annoyed by this because now you have to now you have a quality of life feature that you're not going to have access to. You could care less about the special summon ticket or the extra rewards, but now this mining feature is like it could have been free, easily could have been free to everybody, and these could have been locked behind the pay to win, and nobody would care because I mean this would probably be standard. But I feel like a lot of Netmarble games they still do this with a lot of features where they lock them behind paywalls, and it's become their standard for a lot of games, whether it be Tower of God, New World, or if it's even what's another good example? I can't think of one on the top of my head. Grand Cross may have one. I don't remember exactly. They may have one. I could be wrong. I haven't played Grand Cross in a few years now. It's been quite some time, but a lot of Netmarble games actually do this. Like their Seven Nights also did this. A lot of their games have done monetizing behind quality of life features. It's a very it's a standard, and if you came to play solo leveling and it's a Netmarble game and you were aware that it's a Netmarble game, you only really did it to yourself because I mean they do this very frequently. Now you can have hope and expectations to not for them not to do it, but they did, and they are going to be doing it. Now, of course, you can fight it by not buying it. Like if a lot of people don't buy it, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to buy it. If you don't buy it, you can fight against it, and they'll see, okay, well, this is not a very good, strat or whatever. It's just not selling, and they might change it, and then just give the mining feature. If a lot of people complain about it, and send in reports and stuff like that, then they might be able to change this and make it for the free plays. I myself don't really personally care. Like the mining, I completely forgot that existed, so this is kind of a bonus for me. But I do want the other stuff, right? So if you don't want this feature, you can just voice your opinion. I will support it because personally to me it won't matter either way. I am going to be buying this whether it had this auto mining feature or not. And I talked about it enough, and maybe I might have pissed off some people, and maybe I might have not. But I mean, this is just my opinion on it, and of course, you have your own opinion, and my situation will be a lot different from yours. But for me, I'm just gonna buy it. It's not a big deal for me, but for others, it may be, and it's fine. I support your cause on disliking the feature if you dislike it, but I'd like to hear more about other people's opinions. Hopefully, they're not as toxic as they were on Twitter, but feel free to share down below in the comments section. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. We do be covering a lot of content, whether it be leaks and character showcases. Obviously content, game modes, how to do things, all sorts of things. That's basically about it. So be sure to like and subscribe so you can see those. All right. So appreciate you guys for watching. And that's going to be the end of the video. I will leave credit for the person who did who did leak these on Twitter. And they'll be down below in the description or the pinned comment. So, yep, that's about it. Peace.